So it's been 30 days now. I fell asleep in a coma August 1st, and now it's September 1st. Then all of a sudden, I open my eyes and I look down at my feet and I see a white sheet. And I said, Lord, I thank you that you prevented anyone from pulling this thing up over me. Then all of a sudden, I looked to the right. I saw a white coat. I said, what's up, Doc? He said, hello. He said, do you know where you're at? I said, I believe I'm in Parkland Hospital, the place where they brought John F. K. when he was shot in downtown Dallas. He said, correct. He said, do you know who the President of the United States is? I said, yeah, it's old man Joe Biden. He said, correct. He said, let me ask you another question. I said, yeah, Doc. He said, who is the football quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys? I said, it's Dak Prescott. He was injured and now he's back. And he looks good. But they're not going to win a Super Bowl. He said, welcome back. I looked around. I said, Doc, I didn't know that I was gone. He said, yeah, you were gone. I said, Doc, how gone was I? He said, well, you have the West Nile virus. I said, I had the West Nile virus? He said, yes. He said, you had a severe form of the West Nile virus. You had swelling on the brain. I said, oh, swelling along your spine? I said, did I? He said, you had kidney trauma. You have one kidney. I said, yeah, Doc, I only have one kidney because I gave one to my sister years ago. So I only have one kidney. He said, that one kidney, we had trauma and we thought we were going to lose your kidney, but we didn't. We almost lost you because your blood pressure started failing and we had to perform emergency surgery. You were bleeding from the lining of your stomach, but we sewed it up. I said, what, Doc? He said, yeah, it's amazing. I said, what's amazing, Doc? He said, I don't know how, I don't know what, I don't know where, but I've never seen a situation like yours. You were literally going away. I didn't have any medicine available for you. I didn't have nothing. There's nothing that's been developed yet to combat the West Nile virus. The only thing I could do was take you to as close as death without killing you. So I induced your coma for 2 weeks and then slowly pulled you out of your coma. He said, I've never seen a situation like yours. I said, never? He said, never. Then I told him, well, King David said, I once was young, but now I'm old, and I've seen a lot of things. I've seen the sun rise. I've seen the sun set. I've seen people come. I've seen people go. I've seen people get set up. I've seen people get put down. I've seen summer and I've seen winter. I've seen spring and I've seen fall. I've seen good and I've seen bad. But there's two things that I've never seen. I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. I've never seen that. You know why? Because he's the same God yesterday, today and forever. Forever, ever, ever, ever. And he's coming soon. And he's closer today than he was yesterday. And he'll be closer tomorrow than he is today. He said, yeah. I said, yeah. He then said, move your right arm. I said, okay. Move your left arm. I said, yes, sir. He said, move your right leg. I said, all right. Move your left leg. I said, okay. He then said, I'm scheduling an emergency MRI. I said, why, doc? Because you didn't move anything at all.